with the prayer, I think.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, the entire desktop is here. Sorry.
Bhavana, are we live?
Yeah, we are live.
Okay, so yeah.
सुमधुर वीणा मुरली संगीत नृत्य सम्मिलित सद्भावनार्पित सुमधुर वीणा मुरली संगीत नृत्य सम्मिलित सद्भावनार्पित गीत नृत्य भगवद् गीत नृत्य गीत नृत्य
Chanagittu, very nice, Bhavna and Prasanna and the team.
Hari Om. Namaste. I welcome you all to GITA-NRITYA. To say something about Carnatic Conservatory of Paris, which in collaboration with Samanvay Dance Academy is bringing GITA-NRITYA to you. It's been Bhavana and my ever-focused endeavor to find ways to contribute a drop to the ocean of Indian culture. Carnatic Conservatory of Paris is one such initiative based out of France, Paris. Carnatic Conservatory of Paris is a not-for-profit association which creates new platforms, brings together people, artists, new and legends alike. We collaborate and present highest quality of Indian arts. We love to take the beauty of Carnatic music and Indian arts to a world audience. Carnatic Conservatory of Paris has conceptualized multiple events like Paris Tyagaraja Aradhana, Nrityanada, Sanatana, Raga and Yoga, Bhagavad Gita doodle videos, as well as Amarakosha doodle videos. Latest to come to life is a collaboration, GITA-NRITYA, today's event, which was conceptualized by Veenamurthy Vijay ma'am of Samanvaya Dance Academy. Carnatic Conservatory of Paris has also published books in English, French, Spanish, Tamil, Sanskritam, and Kannada. Some of the books are Children's Carnatic, a book to build a storytelling approach to introduce Indian arts to children, Approach to Music, The Indian Way, Volume 1 and 2, and the latest was Raga and Yoga, a book which would open new research possibilities in the area of Raga and Yoga. This book was released on as part of Yoga Festival on Indica Yoga platform. Bhavana Pradyumna has worked extensively with Arthur Thomaser to introduce Carnatic vocal, Veena, and Odissi dance in Conservatory of Bobigny, France. This is the first time ever in the history of France and in the history of Europe that an Indian art is introduced as a full-time course. We also provide free Bhagavad Gita classes. We provide spoken Sanskritam language courses as well. We are giving music certificate course and credits for music courses through institutions like Vyasa University, Bengaluru, and Shivananda Yoga Ashram, France. So you can follow us on social media channels, Facebook and Twitter, CC Global Paris, Carnatic Conservatory, CC Global Paris, and YouTube, Carnatic Conservatory of Paris. I welcome you all again. And now I would request Bhavana to address our introduction in French to our French audience. Bhavana.
Bonjour à tous. C'est notre effort toujours concentré de trouver des moyens de contribuer une goutte à l'océan de la culture indienne. Le Conservatoire Carnatic de Paris est l'une de ces initiatives basées à Paris, en France. CC Paris est une association à but non lucratif qui crée de nouvelles plateformes qui rassemblent de nouveaux artistes et légendes. Nous collaborons et présentons la plus haute qualité des arts indiens. Nous aimons faire découvrir la beauté de la musique carnatique et des arts indiens à un public mondial. CC Paris a conceptualisé de multiples événements. Paris Tyagarajaradhana, Nrityanada, Sanatana, Raga Yoga, vidéo de Bhagavad Gita Doodle, Amarakosha Doodle vidéo. La dernière à voir le jour est une collaboration GITA-NRITYA qui a été conceptualisée par Veena Murthy Vijay Ma'am de la Samanvay Dance Academy. CC Paris a également publié des livres en anglais, français, espagnol, sanskritam, kannada et tamil. Peu de livres sont Children's Carnatic, les enfants, la Carnatic des enfants, Approche de la musique et Raga et Yoga. Je travaille aussi avec Arthur Thomasin. Je travaille avec Monsieur Arthur Thomasin, le directeur pour le Conservatoire de Bobigny. C'est la première fois dans l'histoire de France et dans l'histoire de l'Europe que les arts indiens, le chant carnatique vocal et la danse odissi, s'est proposé dans le cadre d'un cours de longue durée. Nous proposons également des cours gratuits de Bhagavad Gita aussi. Vous pouvez suivre tous nos travaux sur les réseaux sociaux. Merci.
Thank you, Bhavana. Now I would request Bhavana to invite Veena Murthy Vijay Ma'am, who would introduce the event GITA-NRITYA to the audience. Bhavana.
Veena Murthy Vijay Ma'am, trained in Kuchipudi and Bharatanatyam, has conducted art festivals during Ramanavami for the last 25 years. She has choreographed dance ballets on society-relevant modern themes. She has conducted workshops and given lecture demonstration in USA, India, and many other countries. Veena Ma'am is running a dance school since 20 years and has started a foundation, AIM, Artist Introspective Movement, training for diplomas in music and dance. A member of SAR Cultural Committee, Bangalore, Veena Ma'am takes active part in NGOs working for development of art and awareness of art. She is doing research on Karnataka Yakshagana and Kuchipudi Yakshagana. Veena Ma'am has formed a dance company called Samanvay Dance Company, which is 7 years old. The company has started working with other forms of dance like Kathak, jazz, ballet, and hip hop, among few of the dance styles. Yeah, Veena Ma'am.
Namaskaram to all the dignitaries. A warm welcome to the Deputy Chief Mission, respected Dr. Praphullachandra Sharma, the Cultural Secretary, Shri Naman Upadhyaya, Padma Vibhushan, Member of the Parliament, Rajya Sabha, Dr. Sonal Mansingh ji, PadmaSri, Dr. HR Nagendra Guruji, Chancellor, S. Vyasa University, and all the dignitaries here. This beautiful concept came to my mind when I saw Bhavana's doodle on Bhagavad Gita. And I thought that why not have an interaction, a dialogue with all the legendary scholars, artists, dance gurus, and yoga gurus to impart what they have experienced, imbibed to the generation today and to all of us and world at large. GITA-NRITYA. Classical dance must move from performance to experience. A rendezvous with legends to reflect upon Bhagavad Gita and its relationship with fine arts. In order to understand the dance, one must be still. And in order to truly understand stillness, one must dance. This is said by Rumi. Space is silent, holding potential. The dancer enters and gives birth to movement, and the magic begins. Space is sculpted, energized, and redesigned. Imagination takes flight, and hitherto unknown worlds come into being as the dancing body takes us into the inner spaces of the heart and mind. These magical moments in theaters everywhere have been halted for the time being as the pandemic has devastated the world and impacted our lives in multiple ways. The privileged amongst us, for the most part, have pulled though, but there are millions who have faced the wrath of the virus and seen their lives split unimaginably, more than ever before. We need empathy for our planet, for humanity, and for nature. Physical isolation has shown us how lonely and disconnected our lives have been. And it has made us realize the values of bond and relationships. During these challenging times, the arts have been a lifeline, keeping people all over the world spirited and hopeful. Seen in this context, Indian classical dance has much to offer, as its span is the vast range of human emotions. If harnessed judiciously and presented with authenticity, classical dance can touch people's lives in immeasurable ways, reminding us that we are all a part of the same humanity. My journey as a dancer and teacher for more than 4 decades have fetched me a fresh dimension. When a dancer reaches the mode of dance as an experience, not just as a performance, then that experience becomes a quest, an effortless investigation of the precincts of the tradition. The artist touches profound levels to reveal the beauty and the truth. The audience is invited to discover itself through this series of GITA-NRITYA, a glimpse into the reflections from Bhagavad Gita and how it touches and moments of our life and also lives. Then the thought, why the Bhagavad Gita in dance? Dance, when presented as an experience, is amazing in its ability to draw the viewer through the power of intention and suggestion to some profound thoughts and moments. When dance spirit inhibits the artist, boundaries of culture, language, form, and content become partners for this great cause. And when presented with depth, the classical dance becomes an umbilical cord which connects us with our inner selves and the world. Bhagavad Gita holds an impactful learning experience to connect to one's inner own self, to express intense emotions which reach out to higher intellect. I would like to request our guests, panelists today, very, very blessed that we are PadmaSri Nagendra Guruji and Guru Sonal Mansingh ji to have a dialogue on various aspects of Bhagavad Gita. Namaste.
Thank you, Veena ma'am. So now, I would love to invite the chief guest of the evening or morning, afternoon, depending upon where we are placed, Dr. K.M. Praphullachandra Sharma, Deputy Chief of Mission, Embassy of India, France. Dr. K.M. Praphullachandra Sharma joined the Embassy of India to France and Monaco as the Deputy Chief of Mission on 17th April 2021. He is a career diplomat and joined the Indian Foreign Services in 2006. Dr. Sharma has served twice in the Embassy of India to Belgium, Luxembourg, and the EU in Belgium, Brussels from 2008-2009 and 2012 to 2015. Prior to arriving in Paris, he served at the Embassy of India to Nepal, Kathmandu from 2019 to 2021. In India, he served as the desk officer in charge of India-Sri Lanka bilateral relations 2009 to 2012 and 2015 to 2016 at the Ministry of External Affairs and served on deputation to the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas as Deputy Secretary and Director, International Cooperation from 2016 to 2019. He has a bachelor's degree in Ayurvedic medicine and surgery. He is married to Ms. Soumya Chandrasekharachari, who is also a career diplomat. I welcome Dr. Praphullachandra Sharma to the event. I request Bhavana to introduce Praphullachandra Sharma in Dr. Praphullachandra Sharma in French to our French audience.
Namaste. Dr. K.M. Praphullachandra Sharma will be starting in English. Joined the Embassy of India, sorry, Pradyumna, we hadn't planned for a French.
Okay. So I would request Dr. Praphullachandra Sharma to share a few words.
Sorry for the glitch.
Absolutely not a problem. It's a privilege to be here and an honor. I came here, as Pradyumna told, about 3 months ago. But it's indeed an honor to be here, and a lot of things are happening, particularly in the field of arts and culture and literature. And this event is one of them. I'm actually overwhelmed with the participation that you have gathered today, particularly for this GITA-NRITYA, which is Bhagavad Gita and Nritya. Nritya basically in terms of art and what I believe is a kind of meditation. Bhagavad Gita teaches us karmanye vadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana, which means that keep doing what you believe to do in the rightful way and leave the fruits to the God or in the good deed that you do. And it is something which I believe is very similar to, if I can say, put it in a slightly different way, Sarvadharma Adhyayanam Swadharma Paripalanam iti Moksha Sadhanam. Basically means that follow every dharma. Dharma here is interchangeable with karma, which is karmic theory of our Bhagavad Gita. Follow everything which is there in the world, which you think is valuable to you. And at the end of the day, you will find out your own dharma, which is based on your karma, which is in a way, luck is directly proportional to the hard work. And hard work is what you try to do and achieve particular interest in your own life. So these are interlinked between our two worlds, like whether it is Bhagavad Gita or work that we do. So at the end of the day, what we achieve is through arts, culture, and etc. These are a form of heritage which we pass from one generation to another, which you are working through your Carnatic Conservatory. So I wish all the best for this event that you have organized, which will probably be running for the next 15 odd Sundays. And I would like to thank Honourable Dr. Sonal Mansingh ji, Dr. Nagendra Swamiji, and all those who are dignitaries who are present, Veena Murthy ji and others who are actively participating in this event and make it a successful event to pass on the message of Bhagavad Gita and also the dedication to arts. All the best to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. So we had invited Deputy Chief Minister of the state of Karnataka, Dr. Ashwath Narayan CN. Due to unavoidable circumstances, he could not join us. He has conveyed his regret for the absence. We have an august audience today. I think we should have Narmada Prasad Upadhyay, Anuradha Vikrant, Praveen Kumar, Shama Krishna, and so many more. I should say we are blessed to have such an august audience participate and encourage us in this endeavor. Now we are happy that this week happens to be the release of the 25th episode of Bhagavad Gita Doodles. Bhagavad Gita doodle videos conceptualized by Bhavana Pradyumna are published on Carnatic Conservatory of Paris YouTube channel and is released under the high patronage of Embassy of India in France every Monday on Embassy social media channels. This is further reshared and released by different Indian embassies as in Finland and Estonia, Congo, Mauritius, Mali, Reunion Island, and the likes. This content is created by Bhavana and I from Paris, Shrikant Rajagopal from UK. The colorful illustrations are by Eshani Lasya from Portugal. The audio is mastered at NamVara Studios in Bengaluru, India by Prasanna Keshava. The French translations are supported by Nadine Ayn from France. It's just a glimpse, an idea or a window into what kind of effort, coordination, and multi-national team comes together every week. And we are constantly encouraged by Naman Upadhyaya, sir, from our Indian Embassy, who is a secretary with Indian Embassy here in France. It's just to give a glimpse of the kind of team that is bringing these together. So now I would request Bhavana to release the 25th episode, which would be released on Twitter handle tomorrow.
Patronage of the Indian Embassy, France, Carnatic Conservatory of Paris presents the Bhagavad Gita, Episode 25. Context from the Episode 24. Our traditions, practices, and customs are passed on from generation to generation. They determine the discipline in one's life, a culture, an occupation, and hence the way of life determines karma. Hence, Arjuna worries for the progenies, the generations that would miss the continuation of the karma that is passed on. दोषैरेतैः कुलघ्नानां वर्णसङ्करकारकैः उत्साद्यन्ते जातिधर्माः कुलधर्माश्च शाश्वताः. By the evil deeds of those who destroy the family tradition and thus give rise to unwanted children, all kinds of community projects and family welfare activities are affected. Utsannakuladharmanam manushyanam janardana narake niyatam vaso bhavatiti anushruma. O Krishna, maintainer of the people, I have heard by disciplic succession that those who destroy family traditions dwell always in hell. Analogy. Towards the end of Mahabharata war, watching Duryodhana wounded, Ashwathama, Druna's son, takes a vow that he will end the entire Pandava clan. He thus uses the weapon Brahmastra. Abhimanyu, son of Arjuna, whose wife was pregnant, would get affected by this. Everyone will pray Krishna to protect the unborn child, Parikshit. Krishna enters the womb of Abhimanyu's wife, Uttara. Krishna, with his chakra, would protect the bad omen, the woe, affecting the unborn progeny. Krishna does this to protect the clan, the Pandavas. Parikshit Maharaja eventually becomes the successor of the Pandavas. Time to reflect. In the present day, what are the family traditions which you miss the most and would like to revive? Share your thought and experiences in the comment section. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.
Namaste. It is definitely very, very special, and it's such a lovely coincidence that we are celebrating the silver jubilee of this episode of Bhagavad Gita Doodles with great gurus and under their blessings and with the support of Indian Embassy in France. And as part of all these videos and the GITA-NRITYA episodes are under the celebrations of 75 years of Indian independence, Amrit Mahotsav, which is celebrated all through the year. And we are very, very grateful and we are very, very proud to be enjoying and experiencing this independence that our India has given us. With this, we would continue. So I heartily welcome Guruji, HR Nagendra Guruji, Namaste. Dr. HR Nagendra is the president of the Chancellor of Vivekananda Yoga Anusandhana Samsthana, Vyasa, and also is the president of Vyasa, Vivekananda Yoga Anusandhana Samsthana, and also the Chancellor of Swami Vivekananda Yoga Anusandhana Samsthana University, S. Vyasa University. Dr. HR Nagendra is widely recognized across the world as Yoga Guru. Born on January 1st, 1943, Dr. H.R. Nagendra received his bachelor degree in mechanical engineering from Bangalore University and PhD in mechanical engineering from the Indian Institute of Science IISc in 1968. Later served as a faculty of IISc. He moved to NASA Marshall Space Flight Center, USA as postdoctoral research associate. In 1972, he moved to the Engineering Science Laboratory, Harvard University, USA as a consultant and also as a visiting staff at Imperial College of Science and Technology, London. Dr. H.R. Nagendra during 1975 joined Vivekananda Kendra, a service mission, as honorary director of the training center Vivekanandapuram, Kanyakumari. Served as a secretary Vivekananda Kendra Yoga Therapy and Research Committee during the 1979 and 86. Dr. H.R. Nagendra Guruji is serving as president now, and he continues to be coveted and president and chairman for many different associations like International Day of Yoga, Task Force of Ayush, Ministry of Health and Family, SAC of CCRY, and many more. Nagendra Guruji has published 30 research papers in engineering, 135 papers on yoga, and published 28 books on yoga. Dr. H.R. Nagendra Guruji has guided 32 PhD students and continues to do it for many more. Dr. H.R. Nagendra is the recipient of many honors and awards from various national and international institutes and organizations. We are also extremely blessed to be to be a part of Vyasa as we connected through yoga and attained our yoga instructor certificate through Vyasa under the guidance of Guruji. We continue to learn our Upanishad courses, and there are many more courses, Patanjali Yoga Sutra courses that Guruji has started after a long break. So this was also one of the good things that happened during COVID, that we got an opportunity to learn directly from the words of Guruji and get his knowledge online wherever at the comfort of our homes. Guruji, we heartily welcome you to GITA-NRITYA, and we would like to know what your thoughts are on Bhagavad Gita learning for the present day generations, present day kids or millennials or the Gen Z.
Thank you so much, Bhavana, Pradyumna. Congratulations for organizing this beautiful event. And as you rightly said, the Gita, Bhagavad Gita, in every chapter, Krishna says it's a yoga. Even the melancholy of Arjuna is a yoga. Arjuna Vishada Yoga. So it's the most comprehensive text on yoga. And now yoga has become so relevant in our lives. Thanks to our Honorable Prime Minister who brought International Day of Yoga on June 21st. Last year, the Ministry of Ayush took a vow that we are going to spread the common yoga protocol, the practice of that, to nearly 20 crores of people. And they achieved about 13 crores. This year, we wanted to cross that thing. And thanks to COVID, we are all at home and do the practices. Gave an opportunity to get more accurate numbers, and people all over the country, every nook and corner of India practiced, and according to the present status, already we have crossed 18 crores, maybe even more than 20 crores they are going to do. That is the popularity of yoga that has come up, and yoga has become a wonder tool to boost our immune system, to keep it healthy, strong, so that we'll be able to prevent the COVID menace that has come. And thereby, we'll be able to see that in the possible third wave that is going to come up, again, India can lead the world in bringing the yoga dimension to people at large. We are conducting some randomized controlled trials, bringing the yogic dimension brought forth in Bhagavad Gita. So Vivekananda was able to bring this entire thing into mainly 4 streams of yoga: Jnana Yoga, Raj Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga. And this has been all lit into the common yoga protocol called CYP very intelligently for a 40 minutes program. And that's why our Honorable Prime Minister was keen that it be practiced by all people in this thing. And it's not just one day thing, but it should be continued as part of our life. Just like we have our taking food and sleeping, this also should become part of it. And in its holistic vision, yoga is a way of life, one of harmony, peace, love, and sharing, giving more and more to others, and contributing more and more to the development of the whole society, and brings about a wonderful aspect of karma yoga, as brought out nicely by our chief guest. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. And the karma, every karma should be converted into a yoga. That is the key essence. Is it ever possible? Normally we think yoga is to do some asana, or pranayama, or mudras, bandhas, kriyas, meditation. But is it possible that every action, standing, eating, drinking, sitting, urinating, excreting, everything can be yoga? Looks very funny. But Krishna says yes, it is possible. Pashyan, Shunvan, Srushan, Digran, Ashnan, Gachan, Swapan, Shwasan, Pralapan, Visrujan, Brunhan, Unmishan, Nivishan, Napi, Indriyan, Indriyartheshu, Vartanta iti dharayan. Says, seeing, hearing, tasting, eating, drinking, urinating, excreting, everything can be yoga if you know that secret as to how to do that. And that secret is the one that he unraveled in the whole of the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. Even while doing yoga, in the yuddha, in the warfare, can you convert that into a yoga? Was all the message that he brought forth. How it should be done? The inner layer of the mind should be tuned to that inner calmness, peace, silence, attuned to the self, and do all activities. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya vidya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Yes. When we are all familiar with the two layers of the mind, inner subtler layer of the mind and the external superficial layer of the mind. When we are all hearing, maybe something deep within is bugging us that, okay, some of our friend or somebody very close to us has got COVID in India and then he's in the hospital, what is happening to him? Something deep is bugging us, you know. So it is that inner layer and outer layer we are all very familiar. This inner layer of the mind, Krishna says, has to be tuned to that all-pervasive consciousness, that is a state of blissful awareness, calmness, peace. You know? And attuned to that, you do that, every action will become a yoga. That's the secret he gave. And this is what our DVG also gave in Kannada. You know, those people, many of you are all there in Kannada, would love to do that. Eradu konegalani madu manadalayadi virami sobbane moonadol valamaneya shantiyali ಹೊರಕೋಣೆಯಲಿ ರೋಗರಾಟಗಳನಿ ನಾಡು ವರಯೋಗ ಸೂತ್ರವಿದು ಮಂಕುತಿಮ್ಮ ಮಂಕುತಿಮ್ಮ. And this entire life is one of drama, natya, and the dance is the one that excels in this dimension of to keep the awareness. When you are doing the dance in tune with the music, the raga and the thala, everything, you should be so full of awareness, and you should not leave that. That inner awareness is the one that the key essence of karma to be converted into a yoga. Therefore, it is a natya yoga, nada yoga, and this is what now Bhavana have been wonderfully bringing about, and with the help of Pradyumna and others, I'm so glad that they are spreading this message throughout the world with Paris, which is the center of wonderful art and music and dance to spread everywhere. And we have such a wonderful thing that we have the right chief of our pastor in Paris. And I wish you all the best and good luck. And so glad that you are able to bring my distant sister, we all call, and Dr. Padma Vibhushan. Namaste, Dhanyavad. Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji. We would continue by inviting our the next guest, Padma Vibhushan, Honourable Dr Sonal Mansingh Guruji, the member of Rajya Sabha. Ma'am, we welcome you for GITA-NRITYA episode. We will be, Veena Murthy ma'am will be introducing Honourable Dr Sonal Mansingh Guruji. Namaste. Ma'am, you're on mute.
I'm truly blessed to be introducing Padma Vibhushan, Honourable Member of the Parliament, Rajya Sabha, Dr. Sonal Mansingh ji, who is my Manasa Guru. Her introduction can be a webinar by itself. Long journey of life is remarkable, but yet I briefly introduce her today. Her long-standing contribution to the world of dance and culture and Indian history itself can be a webinar, as I said. And Dr. Sonal Mansingh was nominated by the President of India to Rajya Sabha, the upper house of Indian Parliament, in July 2018, in recognition of her lifelong dedication and service to Indian arts. He is the recipient of Padma Vibhushan in 2003 from Sri APJ Abdul Kalam and Padma Bhushan in 1992 from Sri R. Venkatraman. Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Modi ji, nominated her as Navaratna for Swachh Bharat Mission, Clean India Mission. Her unique contribution has been her lifelong work using her knowledge to address socio-cultural issues through the chosen medium of dance. as an art educator, cultural activist, and social motivator. As the founder president of Sri Kamakhya Kalapita, Center for Indian Classical Dances, established in 1977 at Delhi, she has trained several thousand talented students who are carrying the message of Indian culture globally. She teaches the art as holistic concept combining music, yoga, Sanskrit, and cultural traditions of India.
So to continue this in French for our French audience, Dr Honourable Sonal Mansingh Guruji a été nommé par le président de l'Inde au Rajya Sabha, la chambre haute du Parlement indien en juillet 2018, en reconnaissance de son dévouement et de son service de longue date pour les arts indiens. Elle a reçu le prix Padma Vibhushan à 2 reprises en 2003 par Sri APJ Abdul Kalam et en 1992 par Sri R. Venkatraman. Le Premier ministre indien, Sri Narendra Modi, l'a nominé Navaratna pour le Swachh Bharat Clean India Mission. Sa contribution unique et son genre a été son travail de longue date en utilisant ses connaissances pour aborder les problèmes socio-culturels à travers la danse et en tant qu'éducatrice artistique, activiste culturelle et motivatrice sociale. En tant que présidente fondatrice de Sri Kamakhya Kalapita, centre de danse classique indienne, fondé en 1977 à Delhi, elle a formé plusieurs milliers d'étudiants talentueux qui répondent le message de la culture indienne dans le monde. Elle enseignait l'art en tant que concept holistique combinant musique, yoga, sanskrit et tradition culturelle de l'Inde. Namaste, Guruji. We heartily welcome you. And we will be starting the video that Guruji has shared with us, where she has conveyed her thoughts what Bhagavad Gita is and how it is relevant to our lives through art. I'm going to share the screen for you.
Harihi Om. Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Shri Bhagavad Gita. We all have heard about Bhagavad Gita as being the compendium, the utmost explaining the Karma Yoga. To me, it is an amalgamation of so many systems of yoga. And why should we separate them? I think Kriya Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Sahaja Yoga, Naga Yoga, all combine to create this fantastic yoga, which I think culminates finally in Nritya Yoga. Sonal Mansingh, I'm a dancer. And I have experienced the yogas all coming together. How? The second adhyaya, the shlok says, Ya nisha sarva bhutanam yasyam jagrati sanyami tasyam jagrati bhutani sa nisha Pashyato Munehe. When the normal people like us are sleeping, the sages and seers, the enlightened ones, the evolved ones, the spiritually transcendent ones are wide awake. Why? Because they have crossed that limit, the maryada of normal life. And it says that when normal people are enjoying life at night with their partners, with their loved ones, in whichever way, it is the munis the seers, the spiritually evolved ones. For them, that is the night. Dancer is that yogi who has to wait and dance at all odd hours of the night, and yet physically, emotionally, spiritually, the dancer is wide awake and alert and takes the audience also to that transcendent level. Another shloka which I love from the second adhyaya, the last shloka. Apuryamanam achala pratishtham samudramapa pravishanti yadvat tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashanti mapnoti na kamakami. Says, just like the ocean in which so many rivers empty themselves, and yet the ocean never leaves the level. The ocean does not start jumping and leaping. Just like that, the dancer, also with all the name and fame and pratishtha and man samman, awards, honors, has feet firmly planted on earth, on Prithvi. Like the ocean, all this samahit ho jata hai, nothing moves her. And that is the secret of Nritya Yoga, which we take from Bhagavad Gita. Jai Shri Krishna.
We have one more gem from Sonal Mansingh Guruji. I will be sharing that.
It's the same. It is the same.
Okay, sorry.
It is the same. Yeah, it's a repeat.
Okay. Sorry. There was a little change, so I thought, and more lengthier, so I thought, why not to miss even the one sentence from that? So there's so much
Please. Time is limited, and I think we should, go ahead.
It's the same. Yeah. Dearest Sonal Mansingh ji, I would like to, I'm nobody to question you, but I would like to start this interaction and dialogue between you and Guruji, Guru Nagendra ji.
It's a time to reflect that we have.
Yes,
that
the
we
time
have
to
an
reflect.
opportunity to
Yes.
interact with great gurus. Thank you, Varna ma'am.
I have always seen you apply classical dance form in different methods, modules, and mediums. And you have reached out with exemplary skills. Your performances are typically marked by great mastery of movements and easy command of space and gesture language. I'm amazed at the audience connect that you establish in every single performance of yours. Coming to reflect on Bhagavad Gita, though there has been several refreshing changes in your rendition nowadays, keeping in the tradition, the impact has never been compromised. And in fact, it's even more. So how do you think Bhagavad Gita has impacted this attribute in you to keep the audience and to communicate to the audience and to reach out and teach them? That is what is most important today. And I invite both of you to have a dialogue on this.
Allow me to offer my pranams, namaskars, respects to my Anna, to my elder brother, Dr. Nagendra ji.
Thank you.
It's a great pleasure, Anna, to see you at least on screen.
Yeah, correct.
And one thing that somewhere is lost, that Anna established me as a Kala Yoga Pithadhisha of his Kala Yoga department of his university, which is to me one of the greatest honors I have received. Anna, may I may I just start with Veena's question and try to answer that. How has Bhagavad Gita affected my work and my outlook while dealing in classical traditions of India, dance traditions? This very famous shloka again from second Adhyaya. Buddhi yukto jahatiha ubhe sukrita dushkrite tasmad yogaya yujjasva yogaha karmasu kaushalam. That what is good, what is not good, what is punya, what is papa, all these binaries somehow get dissolved when one looks at one's work, be it dance, be it music, be it whatever, as yoga karmasu kaushalam. That is the bottom line for me. Excellence, trying constantly to attain excellence in your chosen field of work. That becomes the yoga. Whether it is good or bad, whether I will get honors or awards or not, all that is not important. But excellence, where my thoughts, my mind, my heart, my kaushala, my expertise in my chosen dance, it all comes together to create something that I can offer to people, which will carry a message, not just of beauty. Beauty is important because that is the first thing that attracts. And dance is a visual art. So it is not like music. You can listen to it with eyes closed, sitting at home, sitting in office, traveling in car. Dance is a demanding art, both from the dancer as well as the audience. It's a visual art. So the awareness, the alertness, the involvement has to be a give and take, a traffic. And it is the dancer's kaushala, the expertise, the understanding of giving, creating something, first, which is beautiful, second, which goes deep into the hearts of the audience, and thirdly, then to offer oneself surrender to the spirit of dance when audience does not see the dancer anymore, only the dance remains. Now that to me is yoga karmasu kaushalam. So Veena, just trying to respond to your question, very nice one. How does it happen? It happens because one is part of a society. What issues, questions, problems affect society as a whole, affect me as well. And my endeavor should be and has been, how can I contribute? How can I contribute in alleviating, to whatever extent, to offer a deeper understanding of the problem, which is the common problem for all, the common issue for all. And it is the collective experience of centuries where the solutions are there. I offer that. Therefore, Veena, when you say that the connect is immediate, whether in India, in any part, or in Mexico, or in Australia, or in Russia. Humanity as one. The human race faces problems. Commonality is the key. And another key is, as Anna said, to share. You cannot keep your talent, your wisdom, whatever gift God has given, the great goddess has given. It is a gift to be given, to be shared. And that is where I think the magic happens, that you become one, audience becomes one, and some message, some beautiful thing is carried back. They do not forget it even after decades. I'm a dinosaur in this field. I've been in this field for about 60 years and more. So even now, people remember my grandfather, my grandmother, my uncle, when I was young, when I was in kindergarten, when I was in college, all that. Why do they remember? Is exactly why I said that I give something much more, I think, than just technical excellence. Anna, am I right?
Sonal Ma'am Guruji, sorry for interrupting. I seek my apologies. Dr. Praphullachandra sir, DCM from the Indian Embassy. Sir, your services and your encouragement is very valuable, and you representing India here in France means a lot to us, and it's a great responsibility, definitely. We thank you for your services again, and also for being a chief guest here. Sir would have to take leave from the event with your blessings, and sorry for the interruption. He would be leaving the webinar today with few words.
Thank you so much, sir, for your presence.
My sincere apologies that I need to leave for some small office work in the office. But otherwise, it's indeed a pleasure, honor, and our duty to encourage and participate in this wonderful event. And I thank Honourable Sonal Mansingh ji and also Dr. Nagendra ji for being here and then sharing your valuable thoughts. Unless you people share these experiences with the youth and the future generations, it's just not incomplete. So it is, therefore, thank you very much for participating. On behalf of my colleague Naman Upadhyaya, who is here, and all of us at the embassy, thank you for having us.
Thank you, sir. Namaste.
Thank you so much.
Veena ma'am, on to you.
I think Sonal Mansingh ji had a very nice question for transition
Guruji.
for Guruji. So Guruji,
Yes.
kindly, if you can continue. It was so beautiful to listen to you, ma'am. So
That was
please, Guruji.
broken. The chain was broken.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Can we please?
Yeah. When she came to Prashanti Kotiram, and we had such wonderful associations and joining of minds, and we became brothers and sisters. She said, I'm maybe a year or little less than you, therefore I will consider you as my Anna. And I said, you are my Tangi in that sense, sister. Oh, nice. Rightly, she brought out that wonderful effect of Kaushalam, that is excellence in any job that we do. And in dance, you go into that level where you forget yourself and become the dance itself. This is the definition of what we call samadhi. Tadeva arthamatra nirbhasa swarupa shunyamiva samadhi. Dharana and dhyana. And go into the samadhi. Samyak adhiyate iti samadhi. That is, in all our transactions, we all have the trifold process. Seer, seen, and the process of seeing. Person who eats and the thing is eaten and the process of eating. In any transaction we take, even in meditation, meditator, meditated, and the process of meditation. Then Patanjali says from dharana and dhyana, I go into the next step called samadhi. Samyak adhiyata iti samadhi. That becomes the seer and the seen becomes one. Similarly, the dancer, when she is dancing, she goes into that ecstasy in which you completely forget yourself and become one with the dance. And that is the experience Sonal had. Each time she dances, she goes into that ecstasy and brings that ecstatic experience to the people. From the performance to experience, as she said. And this is the grandeur of any artist, whether it's musician or the dance. I used to similarly be with Subbalakshmi's thing, music concert, she would take you at some time into that wonderful ecstatic moment, and you just forget hearing. You just don't hear anymore, and you are unto yourself. And this is the experience that comes. What happens out of that thing is a total transformation. A total metamorphic transformation occurs in the people to raise themselves from their normal level to become great, super divine human beings. What characterizes that is, as she beautifully brought out, is serving others, helping others, and doing our best to the people at large. One of my very intelligent students asked me, "Sir, here is a terrorist. He also can become an excellent thing, and he can do such things which nobody can find out, and can be so shrewd that he is a big terrorist. Excellence is there. So whether that excellence of the terrorist also is included in this Karma Yoga that you are talking? Very wonderful question. I said, as Swami Dayanand always used to say, the first level is you move from tamas to rajas, rajas to sattva. That is the eligibility criteria for the person to get into the Karma Yoga or later, any yoga. So eligibility criteria, it should be sattvic. That means you start moving towards selflessness. And therefore, as you start moving towards selflessness, going into the higher heights, then giving, sharing starts coming up, moving from selfishness to selflessness, and not the aggregation, cut others, beat others, terrorize others, for all the features of the gross rajas, that is tamo rajas, as it's called. At least move from there to sattva rajas, that is, you have integrity, honesty, and transparency in all of our transactions. That is best. And then from there you come to the sattva, featured by dana, daya, dama. That is sharing, giving, and less for me, less for me, more and more for others. And this is what Sonal has been able to bring forth in her life, and that has been highly appreciated by this thing. And she rightly pointed out that wonderful way by which an artist of her stature should bring forth the essence through her public interactions everywhere. Otherwise, we see people going into lots of rajasic activities of name, fame, and asking for more and more and more and more, more and more. But here is a person who wants to take less and less, give almost everything she has to other people. That is the real dimension that a dancer and artist will reach in the excellence dimension. So thank you. Wonderful, Sonal. Great.
Thank you, Anna. Your blessings. Thank you. Thank you.
Can I ask one more question? Do we have time, Bhavna?
It depends on Sonalji and Guruji. If they are available, I think we can continue.
Yeah, I'm here for you. I've cancelled everything. I'm here for you.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
You're on mute.
One more question.
You're on mute, Bhavna.
Yeah, sorry, that would be the greatest sentence probably we had heard in our life until now. Thank you for giving us the time, because getting the time of legends is something
it's truly precious.
Possible. Yeah. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Just now you spoke about Kushalata or Kaushalya or dancer. Continuing that, what is the message that you have for the young dancers today who want to get into the social media or get into the performing stage and get into performances, or even these, what do you call, the reality shows, and so many other dimensions to dance. But here we are discussing today the dance and Bhagavad Gita as a means to reflect upon our own inner selves. How or when does this happen to a dancer, where dance just doesn't limit itself to a performance only, but more in terms of finding one own self, experience much more, and find a purpose of life in impacting the community? Is there a shortcut method for these dancers, youngsters today? A formula.
Veena, we are living in the new normal time, as it's been called now. Even for somebody like me, so tradition bound, I have to learn now even to do how this, the links and open the links. And so when Google becomes Acharya. I call it Google Acharya. And when more and more we are living in virtual space, what we used to hear in Ramayana and Mahabharata and the Vedas and Upanishads and the Puranas, the Asuric Mayavi, the Mayavi. Now today we are living in that. The virtual space is Mayavi. You can show what you are really not. On stage, you are found out. On stage, directly in front of the audience, you cannot play games. But in virtual space, you can do a lot of Mayavi stuff. Even that, see, Veena, as I say, nothing is right entirely and nothing is wrong entirely. According to the time and place, we all have to move forward. The shortcuts that the dancers especially have to take, the Indian dancers, that to the traditional dancers. I don't call them classical because classic is a Greek word. Shastriya, the 8 vidhas, the 8 forms that have been considered traditional Indian dance forms. It's become very difficult because musician can sit anywhere, sing, play instrument. The dancer needs space, a little bit of good lighting, the background, and wear the costume, etc. Having said that, Veena, I find that the dancers are so, today the young dancers are wonderful. They are creating a new, completely new language. They know better than you and me how to use the technology. My only question will remain that we are not going to get rid of this technology anymore. When we come back to normal times again, and I hope it is in 2022, if not in 2021, then what will happen? One has to think about that because the real connect happens there in the auditorium or in where the real spaces where it is one-to-one connect. This anyhow is a connection through the Mayavi space, through yantra, through, this mobile phone or whatever. And for that, another thing that comes to my mind from the second adhyaya, which is my favorite somehow. My father used to make me sit and learn that before going to school. Not my elder sister, not my brother, only me. And thank my father for that he put me through this. But my second adhyaya, which we all have to learn, especially the dancers who take shortcuts, want to become this, that, want to achieve great fame, name, power, money, want honors and awards very, very fast. I will quote this shloka. Dukkheshu anudvigna manaha, sukheshu vigataspraha, vitaraga bhayakrodhaha, sithadir muniruchyate. This is how Sri Krishna is explaining to Arjun. When Arjun has asked, Sita pragyasya ka bhasha samadhistasya Keshava, Sitadir kim prabhasheta kimasita vrajeta kim. That's his question. Sita pragya, what is the definition of a sthita pragya? Pragya is your inner wisdom. Sthita, one who is involved, who is submerged in that inner consciousness, the deepest wisdom. And then Sri Krishna explains. Now this is one of those shlokas. So he simply says, in times of pain and sorrow and perceived difficulties, I explain it like that. Perceived sorrow, perceived pain, what we think is pain, sorrow, difficulty. Anudvigna manaha. Udvigna, you do not allow yourself to be swarmed, to die in that ocean of sorrow. Sukheshu vigata spriha. And when you are full of sukha, happiness, joy, awards, honors, great name, love, you do not jump all the time. You do not leap high only to fall. You are vigata spriha. You take it equally as in dukkha as in sukha. Why? Because vita raga bhaya krodha. Bhaya is fear, krodha is anger. Even those get submerged in this kind of a pragya, the inner wisdom. And then you are Siddha Pragya. And to me, Veena, this has served as my goalpost, living alone and having experienced deepest of valleys and highest of honors. I remain firmly grounded. And I think somewhere these kind of shloks, Sri Krishna Bhagwan's Upadesha has affected me also somewhere. I'm not Arjuna, but we are all Arjuna. I think in the final, my final point is we all should become Arjuna because we have to have Sri Krishna, the dance, the dancing Natavara Nagara, the dancing Krishna, the Rasa Leela Krishna, the Kaliya Krishna, the Govardhana Krishna as our master.
Beautiful. Most sustainable message to all of us. When we talk about Karma Yoga, how do you find the gurus who are imparting training in dance today are following the Bhagavad Gita principles? And what do you think must improve upon for these gurus, for the system of teaching? Because basically, when we look at youngsters dancing today, as you said, they're brilliant, they're putting their heart and soul into it. But the kind of profound knowledge you just now spoke about, do the gurus have that kind of a capacity today? Or do you think there should be a different method of teaching based on Bhagavad Gita principles?
I think you have answered your own question, Veena. The teachings of any art form cannot become devoid of the inner meanings and connections to our traditional knowledge wisdom systems. It is very, very important.
My question stems from the idea of these traditional arts today, which are institutionalized. There are degrees and PhDs and diplomas given in dance and music. So what is your advice for those teachers to at least impart a little bit of these values, these intrinsic values to the students?
Who am I to advise, Veena? Who am I?
It's only
you and I and Anna, we can all only point. We can only point in that direction. We cannot force anyone. But maybe through our constant efforts and endeavors, we can attract them to that idea that if you combine the knowledge systems of traditional Indian wisdom, which are very much a part of the performing arts anyway, then you are going 10 steps ahead, taking your students with you and giving them something for their life, entire life, even if they do not take up dance as profession. And while teaching, the gurus also enrich themselves successively. I have found that in my life, In 1977, I established the demand of that one girl, Swati, my first student, who stood outside my door in Delhi for 2.5 months with her mother. I refused. I said, I'm dancing, I'm not teaching. And after 2.5 months, I had to give in. and take her with the kind of conditions that you cannot imagine. She had come from Dehradun to LSR, Lady Shri Ram College in Delhi. Brilliant girl, beautiful girl, Maharashtrian. I said, you will come whenever I ask you to come. You will stay and learn for as long as I keep you. You will not ask questions. You will not complain of any body pain. And you will come prepared for the next class. And they said, yes, 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 yes. And she and her mother stuck to it. Once her mother quietly asked, you didn't mention anything. You know what, fees. I said, get out. Get out. How dare you put a value on what I'm teaching through the Guru Parampara from where I have learned. I have learned in Guru Parampara, no, Veena, you know my teachers, my gurus in Bangalore. Professor U.S. Krishna Rao and Srimati Chandrabhaga Devi, my Bharatanatyam gurus. My Arangetram was in 1961. And from that one-to-one Guru Parampara, what one learns is again the selfless giving. So when she asked that and I said, get out, they just put their head on the ground. I said, please do not ever mention it. Later, as her friends wanted to come and all that, I think 50 rupees, it was 50 rupees a month, which I forgot to even ask for. So Veena, I come back to that while teaching, I relearned so many things. Because when you are learning from a guru, you are a student. When you are teaching, you again become a student of that great tradition. And you start looking at things which you had just taken for granted. And as you teach, as you explain, newer dimensions come. Newer aspects open themselves. It's such an enriching experience. But therefore, the teachers you mentioned, who have opened universities, who are working in great schools and organizations, which give certificates and degrees. Veena, everybody wants a piece of paper. What to do? I never got any certificate ever. I never got any degree ever. But those were different times, I guess. I would only say with folded hands that let us endeavor, let us try to reach these messages to these teachers, to these gurus, that please be inclusive of the knowledge systems of ancient Indian wisdom contained in our performing arts traditions.
So do you think Bhagavad Gita is most important that way to?
Yes, of course. And because I think whatever I've been quoting,
a beautiful teaching system for gurus today.
Yeah, see, you can take so many things as per your understanding. At every age, you grow in wisdom, you grow in understanding. So what appeals to me now may not have appealed to me 10 years ago, or it didn't come to my mind. So I think we also evolve, no? Bhagavad Gita is the ocean. Bhagavad Gita is the flowing Ganga. Whether you have a little katori or you have a pot or you have a tub to pick up that water, Ganga Jal, it's up to you.
Thank you. So I would openly request Guruji and Sonal ma'am to have a dialogue on any other aspect that they think should be imparted this evening. Any aspect that Guruji thinks. Nagendra sir.
Let Anna, yeah.
I also actually made that shloka the ideal. As Arjunas, we're all Arjunas, and he asked that rightly. Now Krishna says, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogatan atmanyeva So that is the goal that we have to reach. For that, we're all in Arjuna stage in different levels. Maybe I have too much of tamas or come to the rajas, and then have to move to sattva and then go to the higher heights. So when the teacher sees the students full of tamas, he cannot just ask him to directly go to that higher level of staying in silence. In yoga, we say you cannot give shavasana to a person who is already tamasic. So I have to give something very dynamic, full of energy, vitality. Use rajas to shatter the tamas. Therefore, for the youngsters who are in that stage, the dynamic dance, full of vigor, vitality, the jazz music, all these things are also very necessary. Nothing wrong in that. Use rajas to shatter the tamas. Then when come to the rajas, then values have to be built. What are you doing it for? Is it only for Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Muhammad, Matsarya to be developed? Or it's some higher values in life? And we have to show how higher values in life will give greater bliss, greater enjoyment, and greater dimensions of knowledge. And that's how yoga takes us to higher things. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita says, okay, depending on where you stand, you take this thing. Then comes a traditional dance, full of vitality, energy, and this thing, which will take you to the higher levels from sattva to beyond. You go to the gunatita sthiti, and that is the dimension that takes. And when you go to the samadhi, getting a glimpse is one, but to stay in that samadhi, to become a sthita prajna, is something, a lifelong journey. Because you can stay in that wonderful state for maybe a few seconds or a few minutes, and with the wonderful dance performance or the music performance, you can stay for a minute or 2 or 5 minutes. But then that should become part of our life to see that it goes. For that our behavioral transformations, as she said, Vita Raga Bhaya Krodha Chitadhi Muniluchyate. So you must be able to overcome all these things. And when we get the success, normally we get excited about it. When we have the failures, we get completely lost. So it's here that we have to use our freedom to bring balance, and that is the samatva that we talk about. Samatvam yoga vichyate. That is the feature of the kaushalya that we talked about. Excellence in yoga is featured by samatva. That samatva is the balance that is needed. In the current context of the COVID, it has become more necessary because we have to keep our immune system strong, full of energy, vitality, healthy. And these imbalances are going to shatter our immune system. And that imbalance is called as stress. Stress is an immunosuppressant factor. Therefore, it is very, very necessary that we have to do. That is what our traditional art forms and music is going to take us to the higher heights and brings that balance and equanimity. And that balance that percolates from the emotional level to the mind level, the prana level, the body level, autonomic balance, and then endocrine balance, and coming down at every organ. It brings this thing and keeps our immune system very strong and full of energy, vitality, and we can prevent diseases. And that is what the significance in the current context of the COVID comes. Therefore, that emotional dimensions, elevated emotional dimension of sattva should be brought forth. And this has to be built into the education system. And that's what we have been doing by bringing the total personality of the children. From 1975, when we started our journey in Northeast, Arunachal Pradesh schools, we said, yes, this is what we have to bring. To start bringing out this aspect of the values of sattva in all aspects, whether it's music or dance or exercise or asana or pranayama, everywhere we have to see that there's a transformation that should come out. Anudinam tanutvam nyati arishadvargani, as Vasishta says in Yoga Vasishta. Day by day, our negative aspects of kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya should go on reducing day by day. And the positive virtues of giving, sharing, magnanimity, love, blissful awareness should all start coming up day by day. Therefore, we'll be in the wonderful state of happiness, bliss. And yoga is that way of life. And dance is the Nada yoga, the Nritya yoga, both put together, visual and then sound, both put together. It's a fantastic tool that our ancient wisdom dancers and other people put forth, and they put this in entire dimension to the tradition of dance, tradition of music they brought. And what is the goal of this? To reach that moksha, to reach that sthita prajna lakshana, and to reach the highest state of sarupa, infinite knowledge, power, freedom, and this thing that every art form should raise. And that's what our Sonal has been doing it. So each time I hear her, I see her dance, I see how beautifully she has been able to bring forth in her performances, in experiences and explanations. So thank you, Mr. Namaskar. So nice of you.
Anna, I want to share with you and all others my experience of offering my dance, Nritya Seva, in front of Bhagavati Nateshwari and Sri Nataraja, in front of Kailash on Ashtapad at the height of 18,000 feet. Anna, I danced, I don't know how, for half an hour. People could not believe it. I did not dance. I was made to dance.
Fantastic.
I mean, you know, when you speak of samadhi, it was a dynamic samadhi. It was, I'm getting goosebumps while even talking about
That's what Ramakrishna was also there in that position, you know, in that thing. Wonderful state. That's my beautiful thing. So
Anna, thank you so much for your blessings. I want you to come to my new house in Delhi, Anna.
In the meantime, we will also come to Bangalore now. With a
yes,
new
I have
university.
to visit. I have to come. Yes.
For our thing.
Yes,
you know?
yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Bhavana, for organizing this wonderful
Thank
thing.
you.
Such a great pleasure.
I have just few words to quote. Name parthasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana nanavaptam avaptyam vartaeva cha karmani. So there is no duty for me to do in all the three worlds. O Partha, nor do I have anything to gain or attain. Yet I am engaged in prescribed duties, says Krishna. So if such a personality does work, there can only be one reason for it. It will not be for oneself, rather for the welfare of others. So today when we see Guruji, Sonal Mansingh Guruji, Veena ma'am coming together for a cause, I think this just inspires us to serve, as Swami Vivekananda says, Seva and Tyaga. This is what we through Carnatic Conservatory of Paris have been doing with the support of Prasanna, or Eshani, or Shrikant and Nadine, with all our team members who are so selflessly giving their time, energy and effort to bring the Krishna lessons and making this relevant to the present generation. We are eternally blessed, and as this is the bliss that I think we can experience. Bliss can be attained by any form, and I think just listening to your words gives us so much of bliss, contentment, and we are truly blessed, ma'am. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you, Sonal Guruji, and thank you, Veena ma'am, for conceptualizing this. This is such a wonderful episode, and this is just the beginning. And we have 3 more months and more than that maybe to discuss, because there are so many people who have experienced bliss through different ways, through art, through music, through dance, and so they're all coming together in this platform under the patronage of Indian Embassy as part of celebrating our Indian independence, Amrit Mahotsav, which is a wonderful cause for all of us globally to celebrate, to enjoy this enriching session. Definitely. Thank you so much, and thank you all participants. Over to you, Pradyumna.
The vibrations,
congratulations.
Just 1 minute, Pradyumna. The vibrations that Guruji and Sonal Guruji has created today, it's in the air, it's above, it's not just in the small stage, but the universe. And such wonderful magnetic waves of positivity, intuition, and profundity has been given to us. We are truly blessed. And it's so meaningful that they opened this whole project, and it's truly blessed that way.
Very true.
And what a beautiful sensation and vibration it has been today. Thank you so much, Sonal Guruji, Sonal ma'am, and Nagendra Guruji sir, for this. Truly touched and very ecstatic about this.
Thank you so much, Veena, for involving me in this great experience. And this whole conceptualizing is so wonderful. It should be taken forward like this in many more platforms. I congratulate the Indian Embassy in France and all these wonderful team that has created this. And of course, it has been a blessing to talk to Anna, at least through the screen. Very
pleasure grateful. And joy. Blissful to be with you. Thank you.
I have no other words. I want to cherish this moment. Maybe that's all I can say. I never wanted to do, like, Veena ma'am is a part of the host, so I did not want to thank her as part of the vote of thanks. But Veena ma'am, we could not thank you more for being inspired by the doodles and coming up with this concept, because I think. Uh, are you okay? Are you able to hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Now
Okay.
we are. Now we are.
Okay, so I was thanking you, Veena ma'am, for ideating this and bringing it to, like, making us a part of this. It's so wonderful. I see the comments as this dialogue goes on between Nagendra Guruji and Sonal Mansingh ji, and I could see that like we have short our time by half an hour. Like, we've gone over 50% of the time, and we have just 4 people left the room. So this shows the magnetism of the people who are with us. And
We have had a wonderful audience, Pradyumna, today.
Wonderful.
Great
It's
audience.
so true.
Great
Remarkable.
audience. We have all learned people as well in the audience. Yes.
Very learned people, and thanks to Praphullachandra sir, who joined us from Indian Embassy, who joined us to inaugurate. He was our chief guest. Thanks to Naman sir, who has stayed with us all along for this event.
Due to some problem in the internet, I cannot join through a video, but I was throughout with all of you. And I would like to thank ma'am, Sonal Mansingh ma'am, and Nagendra Sarji for being with us and enriching with their knowledge and providing us this amazing insights into Bhagavad Gita and how it is relevant to us, and not only to us but the artists. I think these all things will encourage all the artists, not only here in Paris but also in India, to join this platform and get more enlightened through our panel panelists. Thank you so much for taking out your precious time and being a part of this program, ma'am and sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all very much.
One more, sorry,
just one
from
more.
Samskaara Bharathi. Yes. They have sent greetings just now. They have heard, and also Anupama Hoskere, a very renowned puppetry artist. She was here with us, and she says it was exemplary. Sonal ma'am and also Guruji were very, very good, and they were all very impressed, and it was very impactful is what they have shared. Thank you so much, Anupama, and also Krupa Padke and Para Krishnamurthy sir, who is from Samskaara Bharati, who have given us support in terms of inviting people. Thank you very much.
Guruji, Sonal ma'am, Guruji, Naman sir is the son of Narmada Prasad Upadhyaya ji, who's a miniature painting researcher, and Naman sir really wanted to be here today to listen to you and the valuable words that you both share today. So yeah, I wanted to convey this to you.
And he's been a pillar of support for us here in France.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thanks to Prasanna, who came up with the theme music. Thanks to Eshani, Shrikant, who have been a part of the team. And yeah, I think I have so many things which I wanted to recap, but I think I should just...
Please thank Surya and Mahesh ji.
Definitely.
Surya and Rav has given special effects for all the shlokas for ensuing weeks, shlokas for the dancers. Sure. And Mahesh ji has accompanied, given us a flute. And
Yeah.
that's also a
Yes.
part of this
So the next
participation.
episodes would make it more interesting with all the music and special effects that would be adding on to our next episodes, which you can watch every Sunday. And this program is brought to you by Carnatic Conservatory of Paris in association with Samanvay Dance Company. And we are also supported by Samskaara Bharathi and NamVara Studios and EKA Unity from Portugal.
Thank you all.
Dhanyavadaha.
Dhanyavadam. Thank you, Anna. Namaskaram. Chalo.
Mangalam.
सुमधुर वीणा मुरली संगीत नृत्य सम्मिलित सद्भावनार्पित सुमधुर वीणा मुरली संगीत नृत्य सम्मिलित सद्भावनार्पित